Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to review the science fiction movie Defective, a movie that I thought through looking at a series of images and things like that and reading some bump on the movies, I thought this looked and sounded pretty cool for a science fiction movie. And then I went and watched it, and unfortunately I was wrong. This isn't a particularly good movie, guys. And essentially what this movie about is it's set in the near future, and society essentially is ruled by a militant police state, and there are these like police soldiers on the streets that are like these cross between robotic soldiers and humans. They're wearing all this armor, and they're a bit like Judge Dredd in the sense of they're the judge, jury, executioners, if you like, and they're on the streets and they give you out fines if you break the law, or they'll give you warnings and even executions. And there's this one guy called Sean or Rhett, something like that, who witnesses one of these executions early on in the movie, and he's taken in and questioned, and he's basically then had enough. He's like, right, I'm leaving the state, and they're all like, nobody leaves the state, don't you know? So he goes home to pack. He's had enough. He's going. He's leaving. And as this is happening, there is like a business place where there's this woman who, for some reason, is given this case that she has to go out and visit this customer. And it turns out that this customer is this Rhett or Sean, who is actually her estranged brother. So she's got to go out there, and she thinks he was dead, even though we're not given any backstory about them being brothers and sisters and what happened in the past. She turns up at his flat. They cuddle, they make up, they fight, they argue, and then these military soldier things turn up, these police in armour. It all goes awry. They go on the run from these things. They become like enemies of the state #1, and they're being hunted. Then the brother and sister, they then join some like resistance movement, and then they decide, this resistance movement, that they're going to expose this militarized state, police state, for what it is, and expose it to everybody, even though they don't really explain how or what this exposure is going to do, and we're just supposed to believe it. And then gets more and more confusing. There's more layers of confusion added to it. There might or might not be aliens involved, and it all just gets a bit, wow. Do you know the thing about this movie? The real shame of this movie is it did have an awful lot of potential, because the acting's not bad here. The action's pretty good, pretty graphic as well at times, and they look cool, like these robotic police soldiers, and there's like these flying drones and stuff. There's some really cool elements to it, and then they forgot to write a story, a tangible story that makes sense. It's just scene after scene of milling along, and it mills along at this weird pace. It's like when the action starts, there's like this pause, weird pause. It's like it gets like, you get like the red target on your chest when you're about to get shot, and there's this weird pause, and then he does something, and you're just like, it's just, I don't know. There's some weird pacing going on in this movie that really makes it suffer. And my understanding is that they went into this film this without the full budget on board. They had to like get the rest of the funding as they were making it. And I don't know if that obviously had an effect on the writing as well, because there is no story here. It doesn't make sense. It's a mishmash of They Live and V and a load of other stuff thrown into a mixing pot, and they stir it up, but they don't give it any tangible story or dialogue. There's a guy in it as well. You can see the picture there. He's like some Chris Pratt look-alike, but with 10% of the talent, who doesn't need to be in the movie. Doesn't make any sense why he's in the movie. There's a few twists and turns that again don't make any sense and don't add anything to the movie. But the guy there who plays Sean or Rhett, I thought he was actually pretty good in this movie. He just needed to be given something better to work with in regards to a script and a story and some decent dialogue, because so incomprehensible. I was literally scratching my head all the way through this movie. All the way through. I had no clue what was going on, because it didn't explain what was going on. And the ending, the ending was just appalling. I mean, really bad. Confusing as hell. Not satisfying, the ending. And this film is pretty much a car crash, guys. And it's a real shame, because there was some stuff in this movie that really they worked hard on, and by that I mean the costumes, and some of the effects and things like that, and they got a decent cast on board. So yeah, it's gonna have to be a 4 out of 10, guys. I can't recommend it. It's just not good. Sorry. So thanks for watching, everybody, and please, if this is your first time visiting Screen Stars, please consider subscribing to the channel. It's really appreciated, guys. Thanks for watching.